Disappointed. I really am disappointed. The thing is that Floyd is what they call an independent contractor. And what happens is that when you become an independent contractor, Skip, if you make $230 million, they give you two checks or a check for $230 million. It is up to you to take out the deduction and make sure state, federal, and whatever else needs to be deducted is paid to the Internal Revenue Service. Floyd, you made $230, and I get it, Skip. I can just imagine getting a check for $230 million. Like, hold on.
I think you got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone.
Yeah.
6 apartment buildings, stating that they are all his properties with no partners involved.
I mean, Floyd, like we got issues over here. He's still the best fighter out there. Until somebody beat him, that's who he is.
You think he should step back in the ring?
I think he got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone.
Yeah, that's what you think. It's fight, get the money, spend the money, fight. It's been 2 years.
I find that one unique aspect of this case that I think is different than many others that I see on a regular basis is the extent to which this happened in front of children old enough to understand what's happening. These were not infants. These were children in the report listed as 11 and 9 years old. To the extent that...
What if the fighter famously known as Money isn't actually rolling in cash anymore? We're talking about Floyd Mayweather Jr., the man who used to flaunt bundles of $100,000 like it was pocket change, buy private jets as casually as a pair of sneakers, and spend millions on shopping sprees without batting an eye. But now, his former accountant is making new claims, supported by actual documents, hinting that the empire Mayweather built could be on the verge of collapse.
Money made all day. You know, right here, a light million. Over there, counting up another million over there. Walk with me, ladies and gentlemen. Let me take you into my life. So Andrew Jackson, of course, is on the 20. Benjamin Franklin right here. You know, money made all day. We in the bank, doing what we do best, counting money.
For years, rumors swirled about lawsuits, tax issues, risky crypto deals, and other questionable money moves. Eventually, it all seemed to catch up. Newly surfaced financial records linked to Floyd Mayweather Jr. now shed light on his accounts. Rather than the flashy, high-rolling lifestyle fans were used to, the documents paint a picture that's far less glamorous and far more concerning.
And everybody in the crypto world is competing with one another, whereas I feel like everybody should be able to choose what they want to choose and go with who they want to go with. I think everybody should work together. And what I always did was I believed in myself. Before anybody else believed in me, I believed in myself.
Let's dive into how a boxer once hailed as the richest in the sport could have gone from heading the legendary Money team to possibly facing a serious cash crunch, and why Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s biggest battle might not have been against anyone in the ring, but against the choices fueled by his own ego.
Disappointed. I really am disappointed. The thing is that Floyd is what they call an independent contractor. And what happens is that when you become an independent contractor, Skip, if you make $230 million, they give you two checks or a check for $230 million. It is up to you to take out the deduction and make sure state, federal, and whatever else needs to be deducted is paid to the Internal Revenue Service. Floyd, you made $230, and I get it, Skip. I can just imagine getting a check for $230 million. Like, hold on.
The story reportedly started with a leak, but it didn't come from TMZ or some viral online interview. The information came from someone far closer to the situation, Floyd's former accountant, the person who once managed and safeguarded his finances. Having worked with Floyd Mayweather Jr. during his peak earning years, this insider has now shared what he claims are Floyd's most recent banking records. And according to him, the numbers are alarming. Based on his account, the boxer once labeled a billionaire may now be living paycheck to paycheck. Yes, the same fighter who reportedly made around $300 million in a single night against Conor McGregor is said to currently have just a few $1,000s in liquid funds. If true, this would mark one of the most shocking financial reversals in sports history.
Chilling in an EWV Rolls Royce,
For those that don't know what an EWV is, that's an extended wheelbase Rolls Royce. I need the leg room. I know I ain't that tall, about 5'8.5". Some days 5'9", but it is what it is. Chilling, sitting right here watching the Thriller in Manila, Ali versus Frazier documentary. Come check it out. Up top, every planet.
According to his former accountant, Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s financial situation is anything but stable. The insider claims the records reveal frequent overdrafts, unpaid bills, and multiple red flags related to the Internal Revenue Service. The allegations don't stop there. Some employees are reportedly still waiting on paychecks. Tax obligations are allegedly overdue once again, and several legal disputes with former business partners remain unresolved. Adding to the turmoil, rumors suggest that Floyd has been traveling between Dubai and New York City, apparently trying to dodge legal notices and subpoenas tied to these ongoing cases.
You have a person with 20 million followers, but may not have 20 million in their bank account. So I choose fortune over fame.
Could you explain everything that's happened with the taxes over the last couple of days? Can you give us your side of the story?
Oh yeah. When I was on stage tonight, if you guys didn't see, from my Pacquiao fight, never even cashed a check. Still have 100 million that I never even cashed before. I have a tax attorney that takes care of everything, and everything is okay. I still got.
To be clear, Floyd Mayweather Jr. earned an extraordinary amount of money during his career. He stayed undefeated in the ring, dominated the global pay-per-view market, and became one of the most financially successful athletes the sports world has ever seen. Through his fights and the brand he built around himself, he brought in hundreds of millions of dollars. But there's an important difference here. Generating huge income and holding on to that wealth are completely different challenges. And according to the narrative being discussed, Floyd became exceptionally skilled at making money, but managing and preserving it may have been a very different story.
How much is it?
$1.8 million.
$1.8 million watch.
$1.8 million, dude?
You're the first to see it.
That's insane. That
1.8 is high. 18 life.
That happy birthday, champ.
That's how we do it.
That is sick, dude.
But you gotta show him what he's saying.
Money green.
No,
Hold on. This watch was made specifically for the champ, Floyd Money Mayweather. One of one piece.
That's one of one.
The money team.
Can we see it on him?
Yes, sir.
That one of one.
$1.8 million.
Like it's a one of one. I love that.
Instead of simply spending his wealth, the way it's described is that the money disappeared at an incredible pace. The lifestyle tied to Floyd Mayweather Jr. wasn't just luxurious. It was portrayed as extreme, pushing far beyond normal high-end living. Reports mention roughly $30 million going into a massive car collection, with several of those vehicles rarely, if ever, taken out on the road. Garages filled with supercars were kept in different states and even different country. IES, often more for display than for actual driving, and the spending didn't stop there. There were also multiple private jets. More than one, adding another huge layer of cost to maintain that larger-than-life image.
Time to go. Let's go. Today, I have two different colors. Check it out. So down here, look at the color up top. Time me to go big. Time me to go big. See that real in.
He didn't just travel on private planes, he reportedly owned several of them. One jet was said to be reserved mainly for his crew, while Floyd Mayweather Jr. would fly separately in another. Maintaining aircraft like that adds enormous costs, but it also reinforced the larger-than-life image he projected. Then there were the watches. These weren't ordinary luxury timepieces. They were on an entirely different level. One of the most talked-about examples was a watch reportedly worth around $18 million, covered in diamonds and purchased more as a statement than anything else. It wasn't about building value over time. It was about showing off. His daily lifestyle reportedly came with a price tag of over $1 million per month. This included personal chefs available around the clock, extravagant gambling weekends in Las Vegas, lavish nights at strip clubs, designer shopping sprees that looked like scenes straight out of a movie, and entire teams of assistants and yes-men on the payroll just to keep the Mayweather operation running smoothly. He even claimed to carry $1 million in cash in a single duffel bag wherever he went, and reportedly never wore the same pair of sneakers more than once, emphasizing the extreme scale of his spending habits. While many people were putting their money into long-term investments like real estate, startups, or businesses that could grow over time, Floyd Mayweather Jr. focused on status and appearances. His wealth went into flashy displays, diamonds, gold chains, and a carefully curated social media persona that revolved entirely around showing off.
I believe in building generational wealth. Even like when my children, all four of my children are adults. And I told them, no more handouts. Because I feel like I'm hurting my children just by, I give them money, they go shopping, they put gas in their car, they party, they come back, I need money. I give them money, I buy them houses, I buy them cars. Told them, listen, if you guys go to school or you work in one of my businesses, then you can branch off, get your own business, and I'll put the money up to help you start a business, but I need you guys to take what I've already started and triple and double that, and then I need my grandchildren to come behind you guys and do the same thing.
A major warning sign appeared when Floyd Mayweather Jr. asserted that he owned 62 properties in Manhattan with a combined value of $42 million.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah.
And I'm pointing like this because all of them, we're in New York City right now. We're in Manhattan. That's what we do. Come on. You want to do it? All this money made. No partners. All by myself. Over 1,000 apartments. I'm just getting started.
He mentioned that figure in interviews, presenting himself as a savvy real estate mogul. But when reporters and investigators dug deeper, there was nothing to back it up. No public records, no documents, and no evidence that Floyd Mayweather Jr. had actually purchased anywhere near that many properties.
Into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me.
It seems that the real estate boast was mostly a publicity stunt, and that false claim may have landed him in more legal hot water. Soon after, Internal Revenue Service and other federal authorities began investigating, digging into his financial affairs.
I mean, Floyd Mayweather, in this article, it states that he's spending $402 million in real estate investment in a 1,000-unit affordable housing portfolio in Upper Manhattan. The portfolio includes over 60 buildings and is one of the city's largest real estate deals of the year.
Wow. Well, thank you, Floyd Mayweather, for investing into New York real estate.
Current reports suggest that the claimed $42 million property portfolio was likely part of a larger scheme to make Floyd Mayweather Jr. appear wealthier than he really was. The aim seems to have been to divert attention from ongoing audits and possible investigations into tax issues, crypto-related schemes, and unregistered business operations. That $42 million figure wasn't merely false. It may have been a strategic misstep that ultimately backfired.
How much money could you reasonably walk out of this fight with?
350 million.
$350 million.
Yes.
Wow. I know you love money, right? I mean,
it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
What do you do with all this money?
And, cash is king.
Do you have an ATM card?
I'm the human ATM.
Remember the claim that Floyd Mayweather Jr. earned $300 million from his fight against Conor McGregor? Years ago, Chael Sonnen publicly questioned that number, and now, evidence seems to be supporting the idea that he might have been accurate all along.
You'll see reports. You mentioned 100 million for Floyd. The reports are 130. First off, he's never gotten 100 million for a fight. Not even remotely close. But there's reports of 130. Wow. There's reports online that Floyd's a billionaire. There's reports that he was the highest paid athlete in this year and this year and this over Cristian Ronaldo.
You think it's bullshit?
I know it is. And there's public companies they do business with. HBO would be one of them. Find an executive to back the claim. It's never happened and it won't be.
And how do you know it's bullshit?
He makes very good money because I know the fight business. I've been in the fight business my whole life.
Recently released financial documents indicate that Floyd Mayweather Jr. likely didn't pocket anywhere close to $300 million from the McGregor fight. While the pay-per-view revenue was massive, once you account for the cuts taken by Showtime, promoters, taxes, and Floyd's extravagant spending, the actual amount he may have kept appears to be around $100 million. Or possibly even less.
How does that guy not pay taxes? How do the people around him, how do the lawyers that I'm sure that he employs, the financial people that are probably running his life, telling him to stop spending $1 million a day, how do they not deal with his taxes?
Well, listen. He apparently had a tough time reading the thing, as they say. Like he didn't know he couldn't read
that's BS.
Something.
That is BS.
They said something
Time
like
out.
that.
He is paying, I'm sure he's got a litany of people in his world.
I happen to agree.
Financial management people.
You think so?
How long before he's suing somebody for mismanagement of funds? You know that's happening.
You would certainly think so. By the way, they announced, I'll get your calls in a second, they did announce the pricing for Mayweather-McGregor. $100 for a high def, $90 for standard def. So there you go. So it's exactly what the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight was. $100 pay-per-view.
And here's the most surprising part. Floyd Mayweather Jr. reportedly still had unpaid taxes dating back to 2015. At that point, he had to appeal to the Internal Revenue Service to postpone his payments until after the McGregor fight just to cover those debts. In other words, he was already in a tight financial spot before his so-called biggest payday. The real significance of that fight wasn't the $300 million. It was that he needed it just to stay financially afloat.
He was boxing him up. Yeah. He caught Floyd a couple times, some little shots, boxed up by literally the greatest boxer of all time. But he was holding on quite a bit and wouldn't let go and was trying to hold and clinch and hit, which is something right here, which is something you can do in MMA. And so Kenny Bayless gets tired of him not listening and not letting go, and he pushes him off and he says, that's it. So he goes crazy and gets away from Kenny Bayless and just starts wailing punches at Floyd. And so then there's fights in the ring, and then there's fights outside the ring, and there's all this cell phone footage of people brawling and sucker punching each other. And he's boxing people who have no chance of beating him, and he's doing it as an exhibition. It doesn't even hurt his record.
Because of the drug of boxing. He don't need any money. Yeah, but he don't need any.
Are you sure?
Here's where the contrast becomes striking. Other stars who have earned hundreds of millions, like LeBron James, are still flourishing. Their secret? Smart, strategic investments. LeBron put money into Blaze Pizza, Fenway Sports Group, and various tech startups. He holds equity in sports franchises, production companies, and tangible real estate, assets that actually appreciate over time. By leveraging his fame wisely, he built wealth that could last for generations. Even Mike Tyson, who once lost nearly everything, has regained financial stability through smart moves in the cannabis industry and media projects.
If Floyd Mayweather step away from the sport and say he retired, and then I do exhibitions and I do other things, oh, he's hurting for money. Look, I got a lot of problems. Money ain't one of my problems.
Money wasn't ever the issue for him, but the approach was. Unlike some athletes who turned their fame into lasting businesses, Floyd Mayweather Jr. focused on creating a persona, an extravagant lifestyle, and a brand built entirely around the present moment rather than long-term stability. Instead of investing in ventures that could generate lasting wealth, he doubled down on flashy, attention-grabbing moves, showing off, gambling, and bending the truth. The result? Reports now suggest he's financially struggling. The story gets even more serious with recent developments involving one of Floyd's private jets. Multiple insider sources indicate that federal agents carried out a raid, described as a highly coordinated operation, not a routine checkpoint or standard inspection. Allegedly, the jet contained several unregistered firearms, large sums of cash without a clear origin, and various substances that immediately raised red flags. And this wasn't just a few bottles of champagne or a cigar case. According to reports, the items found were far more serious, signaling potential legal and regulatory issues that could point to something much deeper and more troubling behind the scenes. Here's the shocking part. The jet raid wasn't only about the items found on board, it was symbolic. Investigators weren't just after firearms or questionable substances. They were probing for the truth behind Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s financial empire, or more accurately, the unraveling of IT's. What do the latest bank records show? According to his former accountant, the picture is grim. The actual liquid cash in Floyd's accounts, the money he can readily access, is reportedly less than $10,000. On top of that, he faces over $30 million in pending lawsuits, most stemming from broken contracts, fraudulent endorsements, and deals that went unpaid or fell apart.
Why has it always come to money?
Why not? I mean, everything you got on costs money. Everything you do costs money. You can't take your wife on a date for free.
Is that how you measure your success?
No. I'm loyal and honest. And I'm a good person. And I call a spade a spade. Money don't make me, I make money. And without money, I'd be the same person. I fought so many fights for free.
You're getting emotional now.
No, not at all. No, I'm thinking. I'm always thinking. How can I get better? How can our company grow? How can I continue to teach people around me how to fish? And I don't want to fish for them.
Many of the properties he once boasted about, from Las Vegas to New York City.
I don't know what's happening. What really happened? And why is Romania going after him? Are they being pressured by someone else to do this? What is the reason why they're doing it? And what do they have on him? I don't know.
But nobody knows. A lot of people are acting like they know. If you go read it, everybody saying he got busted because of the pizza box, and then the authorities like that had nothing to do with it.
No, they knew he was in Romania. If he really did sex traffic people, if he really did all the things he's saying, I hope that gets proven in court, and I hope he gets punished if he really did that. If he didn't do that, I hope he gets exonerated, and I hope he gets the fuck out of Romania. I don't know what he...
And what has Floyd Mayweather Jr. said about all of this? Nothing publicly. Instead, he continues sharing clips of training, luxury watches, and throwback fight highlights, projecting the image of being undefeated, not just in the ring, but in life. Behind the scenes, however, insiders claim a very different story. Panic, desperation, attempts to liquidate assets in Dubai.
If you make
100,000, you have to put 50,000 up. If you make 100 million, you have to put 50 million up. You have to save money for a rainy day.
Put it into something else.
You always have to put half up, always, no matter what you, even if you are just a regular 9-to-5 blue collar worker, always put half up and it'll be greater later.
And then what do you do with the other half? You invest it in yourself, in your business?
You have to live. You have to enjoy yourself when you make
money. Mayweather may now be facing the reality that he's out of money. His former accountant has seemingly confirmed what insiders have been hinting at for years. Extravagant spending, unchecked habits, and financial missteps have reportedly left his accounts nearly empty. It's a harsh truth for one of boxing's biggest stars, because no matter how big you are in the ring, you can't dodge financial blows forever. But what's your take on Floyd's downfall? Was it bound to happen? Or could he still find a way to recover? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you made it this far, hit that like button and make sure to subscribe for more in-depth boxing breakdowns and insider stories. Catch you in the next video.